Hi everyone, I am in front of you yet again with a new topic and a new video. Today we'll have a glimpse of how to run a hospital food services profitably. It is worth mentioning the pivotal role played by the dietetics and catering department in the healing process of a patient. Hospital food services come with its own constraints and challenges. It is expected to be cost effective, flexible, reasonably priced, and nutritious food that can accommodate patient specific dietary requirements and preferences. A massive stress is put on hygiene, quality, and cleanliness. Due to the special care that goes into preparing the food, the need for timely service of food, the diverse nature of the operations, manpower requirement is huge in this kind of food service organizations. All this adds up to the cost in a huge way. So hospital food services are not essentially thought to be profit making and more of a support service, which organization would like to see a dent in their pocket? Amidst all the attention and focus that goes into the core business, namely the clinical side, there is a huge revenue leakage that goes unnoticed and unplugged by these food services. So, with all these challenges faced, how can we run the hospital food services profitably? Earlier, the food service operation is often not given its prominence, and the easiest for any management to decide is to outsource it to a third party for ease of operations. They may also be thinking of concentrating on their core business and then outsourcing all the support, basically all the support services to a third party for ease of operations. Agreed, there are pros and cons. Unfortunately, here the cons are on the higher side of the weighing balance. Whatever said and done, the vision and mission of the third party will never get aligned to the vision and mission of the hospital. Food services requires a lot of commitment, coordination with other departments, and need to be versatile and flexible. Since the third party decisions are taken off-site and the rigidness of their operation, it will become critically difficult to take address issues on the spot and take quick decisions. What we also fail to understand is the massive financial liabilities these third party vendors brings in for a job that can be effectively and easily done by our own staff. For a model that works on management fees, a whopping 16 to 18% is thrown away for just managing the operations. This is notwithstanding the entire cost borne by the hospital in terms of material cost, overhead cost, manpower and payroll, staff vaccinations, staff accommodation, staff food, and all those related cost which is borne by the hospital. To give you a rough figure, a 300 bedded hospital with let's say 50 to 60% inpatients and 15 to 20 to 25,000 outpatients in a month, the payout management fees would be 600,000 Indian rupees. That amounts to 7 million a year. Hospital catering falls into four categories. The first one is inpatient meals, and the most important part. The second is the public cafe and restaurants. The third would be the staff cafes, and the fourth is the IRD, that is the in-room dining for the patient bystanders. Patient meals are planned as per the individual dietary requirements.
I have put out this chart to give you an overview of the complicated varieties of diet food prepared in the hospital kitchen. This is in addition to the multitude of food served in the regular cafes and restaurants.
Public cafes and restaurants keep more varieties and diverse menu, whereas a staff cafe concentrate on limited menu and those food that can be quickly made, as the staff seldom get time to eat leisurely. The next is the in-room dining, which is basically meant for the patient bystanders. In-room dinings are normally, the menu is normally priced a bit high, persuading the bystanders to basically come down to the restaurant and eat. And also because we don't want, since the priority is serving the patients, the hospitals don't want to have the patient meal service and the bystander meal service getting colliding together. We shall not go deep into menu planning, diet, and other intricacies of hospital catering because our topic is about how to make a hospital catering profitable. So let's see a few points, a general few points, how we can make a hospital catering profitable. Point what we can look into is engineering. What is menu engineering? Menu engineering is a study of the profitability and popularity of the menu items and how these two factors influence their placement, the placement of the menu items in the menu. The goal is simple, to increase the profitability per customer. Here is not just the food cost, but the contribution margin is also that matters.
As you can see in the chart, the menu engineering sheet categorizes the menu items into 4 different parts. The stars, the puzzles, the plough houses and the dogs. The y-axis will be the item's popularity or the number of items sold in the time frame, and the x-axis will be the item's profitability. The stars which you can see on the right hand side, the top right hand corner of your screen is the items that are high on profitability and high on popularity. Similarly, the puzzles which you can see, they are highly profitable but difficult to sell. We should try and find out why they are not selling. Could they be better described or more prominently placed on the menu? Or can that be promoted in any other way? Or is that price too high? Again with plough houses are low in profitability but it is in demand. So there is something which we cannot completely remove out of the menu. So here we probably have to think of the possibility of increasing the rates or trying to club it with something else and sell it.
The second point is strict control over food cost. How do we achieve food cost control? There are so many ways we can control our food costs. The first one is standardizing the menu. The second one is having a strict monitor and control of wastages. Fixing standard portion sizes. Having standard serving utensils with the right portion size. Vendor management. The third point is presentation. As we all know, eating is not just gulping some energy. It is an experience intertwining all the 5 senses. Thus, a well-presented food looks appealing. For some patients who are high on drugs, might have a low appetite or have difficulty in detecting flavors, for such patients, a well-presented food makes it appealing for them to eat. And also for the public cafes or the staff cafes, a well-presented, well-garnished, well-plated food tempts them to buy. The fourth point is suggestive selling. Suggestive selling is a technique that is used by hotels and restaurants for decades now. Hospital cafeterias normally shy away from suggestive selling because of the crowd and because of the crowd management, because of the type of operations. So it is just like they ask for something, you sell that thing. So there is no scope for suggestive selling. But it's wrong. In hospital cafeterias, hospital restaurants, we still have space and scope for suggestive sellings. For a person who just want to order for something, you can always upgrade, ask them to upgrade or suggest them something which is something good that goes along with it. That will help your customers happy. At the same time, that will help in adding onto your revenue. Point is timely service. This is required and mandatory not only for the inpatient meals, but for any orders like the staff cafe or the IRD or public cafes and restaurants. You can even try some chef specials or specials of the day for the restaurants and cafes. The 7th point would be combo meals. For staff as well as for some bystanders, they might not have time to go browse through all your menu, sit there and order for something. So for such people, a combo meal works out good. You can have a drink, you can have the protein and the carbs all packed up together as a one single meal. The 8th point just help to increase your revenue as well as it will become easy for the bystanders is taking pre-called for room dining orders. You may call in the morning and check with the bystanders what would they like to have for lunch and dinner. This will help the kitchen to know their orders in prior. They can always plan their meal preparation times. At the same time, this will persuade the bystanders to order. Super specialty hospitals of today can always look for restaurants, which is high-end restaurants, full service restaurants, those are normally priced at a premium. So the contribution margin automatically will be high, adding on to the total revenue of the food and beverages department of the hospital. Coffee shop in the waiting areas. This goes good in areas like the OTs, the operation theatre waiting lounge, or the procedure room waiting lounges, because the bystanders or the visitors of the patient normally don't get time to visit the cafe normally, which is located. The cafes and the restaurants are normally located on the ground floor, away from the traffic. And the OTs and the other waiting lounges are normally on the high floors. So for these visitors and bystanders, a small coffee shop with limited menu will come handy and helpful. The next thing we can look for is a trolley service. Similar to OT waiting lounges, a trolley service will come handy and helpful for people stuck in certain areas like the emergency department, the emergency waiting lounges, or for that matter, there are some people who have difficulty coming down to the cafes and restaurant to have their meal, or for people who just don't really need to eat. They just need to have a small bite or a bottle of water or some juices or tea, coffee. Patients require a warm service. Thus, it is not just dumping the food on the table. It's all about giving an experience, a warmth in the service, a homely feeling. Same goes with the bystanders too, as they won't be fresh or happy when their near and dear ones are admitted in the hospital. So everyone likes to see a smiling face, a warm service, a service that says we really care for you. A server with a smiling face inside a patient room is sought after, rather than a guy who's seen carrying out his job in a routine way. Some of the few things that we can look into enhancing the patient meal service or the entire experience is, let's say, a cookie tart. Let's say a tart or a cookie where you have a smiley face, which are just add-ons to give an experience to the patients. Every day when the patient meal goes, you can have a fruit tart or pie, or let's say cookies which have a smiley on it, which would be a best way to say goodbye to a patient. A long-staying patient after discharge and while reaching home may not have enough ingredients and food for immediate consumption. I suggest we should come out of the shackles of the old school thinking and let's bring in some innovative ideas. Let's give the patients, the bystanders, and whoever comes to the hospital, let's give them nutritious, well balanced, tasty food. Thank you guys. We'll meet again in the next video. Till then, please drop in your comments and your views in the drop box. Thank you.